Hello, welcome. I'm Kevin. I run thedigitalworld.net. Alright, I have YouTube, as you can see. I got a Facebook page. You could look at that too. Alright, but the last two videos I made two videos, which, well, I had to make two videos because YouTube doesn't allow me to make a longer one. It was about me doing the supercharger clutch on this car. Well, luckily, I gotta clean a little bit. Luckily, well, I'm sorry that it wasn't full detail, but luckily I have friends that gave me feedback about what I need to do to make it better. All right, Anthony, Aaron, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna tell you what parts you need. I wrote it all down right here. So if you see me referring to my notes, it's because I can't remember everything. I do recall exactly how I took it apart, how I put it back together, just like the small things of what size bolts they were and all that stuff. Wrote it down. I'm gonna give it to you as easy as it can. There are two ways of doing this. If you're going to take the supercharger off to, say, rebuild it or port it, I'll go up to that point. But if you're just going to change the clutch, take the pulley off and all that fun stuff like that, you don't have to. You could ignore me taking it apart or pulling it off per se, okay? So what I didn't do is buy new gaskets. Lovely. I couldn't tell you what they were called, but I'll put a link in the description for the parts that you need, or you can find them on my website under parts required. Everything that you need to do this job, plus other things, are all via Amazon, so they'll all be up there. So, what you need. Please buy gaskets. The gaskets were for the top of the supercharger and the back of the supercharger, so the intake and the out. My gaskets didn't seem that bad, so I was lucky enough to reuse them because I peeled them off very special. Perfectly, I made sure I didn't break anything, but I also used a lot of gasket sealer. I'll show you when we get a little closer after I'm done explaining all this. I use a lot of gasket sealer, front, back, from the top of the supercharger to the front of the supercharger to the back. Yeah, I may have used a little too much, but she's sealed. That's all that matters. You're gonna need they sell a kit on eBay. No, I'm just telling you because that's where I bought mine. They're not paying me to say this, so that's where I bought it. It pays. Well, it pays. You get the clutch. I'm not sure what you call it. Okay, the front part, which is, to me, it's the clutch plate, which is it bolts into the pulley. Well, it bolts into the shaft, but it rides on the pulley, so it engages to the clutch. So it gives you the clutch, the front plate, the clutch plate, and the bearing and the pulley. Now, what I should have did is also buy needle bearings, which are the two bearings that the screws in the supercharger go into on the back. Mine sound pretty bad. I probably should have replaced those, but I already had the car in the garage for about 2 weeks. Nah, maybe a week. Still too long. I was tired of doing the Uber and getting rides, and I would like to go to work in my car and not have to rely on anybody else. So I kind of put that aside. Now, not saying that I won't do it again. I won't do it. that is something that I definitely need to do. The bearings in the back, the needle bearings. I'll post a picture so you can see what exactly I'm talking about. There are 2 more bearings in the front that also they don't feel too bad, but they do sell a rebuild kit for our supercharger, the E10 M62. Now that sucker will run. I didn't purchase it. I didn't think I needed it, but now I do. After taking it apart, pulling it out, I did all that extra work for no reason. I could have just rebuilt it, and I had a brand new supercharger. Okay, so the rebuild kit for that car is about, what did I say, about $200 for the rebuild kit. It doesn't come with the gaskets, I don't think, but it may. I'm not too positive. Great. So the clutch, $2.99 on eBay for all that I said. Front plate, clutch, pulley, and pulley bearing, and 2 ounces of oil. That's what you're gonna need. Hold on, I have that here. Let's see if you can see it. It is AC Delco. Ooh, AC Delco supercharger, focus, oil 10-0-4041. That's what we put in our cars. Works great. I put something else in it last time, and it didn't sound too happy with me. Alright, so we're basically going to get into it. I'm going to tell you what you have to take off, and the sizes that need to be. So bear with me. Notes, come on down with me. Alright, get my trusty flashlight. You're done looking at me for at least a little while. Alright, so first off, these clips right here. You're going to take off this clip here and this clip here. Move your hose out of the way in some way, and then this shroud will pull straight up. Well, you might have to jack up your engine just a tad, so that you can get out of the way of the fan. But per se, if you wiggle it enough, you'll be able to get it up. Once you take that off, alright, there are 3 bolts. We're going to take our fan off as well. There are 3 bolts on the other side. They're Allen keys. They're number 5 on the Allen key. Alright, there's 3 of them, and then the fan will pop out that way, and then you can remove all. Then you got all this extra space right here, which I do. It looks so jam-packed, but once you start removing smaller things, it's not so bad. You don't have to pull the whole motor to just get to right here, but you're able to get where you gotta get. Alright, now you're gonna want to pull off the belt. Oh, where's my flashlight? You're gonna want to pull off the belt, just the supercharger belt. You don't need to worry about the other one or the accessories or whatever. You're gonna want to get what was my number? Oh shucks. E10. I believe it's an E10 or E12. It's a star, and you're gonna attach it to a socket, or I lied. You're gonna attach it to a ratchet and push it down, and the belt should pop up freely. Okay, just hit the ratchet, push it down, and pull the belt off at the same time. What else we got? Now if you are going to be taking out the supercharger, if you're going to be taking the supercharger out so that you can rebuild it or clean it up, make it look a little better, you know, you can follow these. Even though we need to take most of this out anyways, at a certain step you do not have to take any more out. I'll tell you what you don't have to take out if you're just going to replace the clutch rather than pulling the whole supercharger out in general, okay? There, you know, like, if you're just going to change the clutch, you don't got to drain your radiator, you don't got to do any of that crap. You just have to, you know, but if you're going to pull it out, it's best you do. Alright, back to where I was. Alright, bam. Next thing we will do, after we remove the supercharger idler pulley with the number 6 Allen, you're going to want to take off the air box. Alright? Now the air box, here's our air box, and there are, well, I'm missing one, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A total of 6, but I'm missing the 6th one. So you're going to unlatch like so. All 5 of those, okay? Now, these little clamps are a number 7, I believe. They're 7mm, okay? 7mm. These are the original Mercedes-Benz clamps. If you have different clamps, I can't really help you here, but these are 7mm from the dealer, okay? You're gonna remove that one, this one, take that one off down there. Alright, and you're also going to remove, let me get my light. You're also going to remove that connector. Alright, this is to our lovely bypass over here. There's some people put washers in the hose to keep it open. Why bother? I don't know. So you're going to take that connector off. Alright, once we do all that, you're going to pull the top of the air box off. Alright, remove the air filter, and the bottom of the air box is, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can, man, I gotta keep this out. They have 3 little feet, okay, and there, all it does is right here. There's your little foot. All it does is go into a little rubber grommet per se. 1, 2, 3, and it has 3. You just pull it out and put it off to the side, and you're pretty well good. You're done there. So what else did I do? I also removed the air separator. The oil separator. I also removed the oil separator. This is the oil separator. These Allen keys are a number 5. Okay. Pop this off. You could either disconnect the vacuum line here as well. Just please remember where you're going to put these back. If you need to, you can refer back to this video and comment, do whatever you feel, you know. Alright, just you remember where you took them off at, okay? You can take this one off right here for now, you know, remove this, remove it from here. You could also remove from here and just pull this out. There's also a C-clamp. There's also a clamp down here, okay, that will have to be removed. That's an aftermarket clamp with an aftermarket hose, so I'm not sure what yours looks like compared to mine, but that also has to be removed, and then you could put your oil separator out, okay. Make sure all the hoses are clear. This piece right here, alright, you could unclip it from here and just lift it out of the way. You don't have to completely dismantle it. Your oil separator is also connected to the air box, so that would be another hose that you would take off before you remove this as well.